Hey, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Jeremy.
And this is the Deathscography podcast, episode 4.
They said we wouldn't make it, and they might still be right.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not actually sure.
Yep. 4 out of 4 ain't bad.
Not bad.
Hey, we're still in quarantine, in case you can't tell by the slightly falling apart edge in our voices.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But this is episode 4, and if you listen to 1 through 3, thank you so much. Quick rundown. This is the Deathscography podcast, where we go from the first to the most recent Deathwish Inc. Releases, and this is the 4th one. And today we have a special guest.
Special guest. I don't know. That was
combo breaker. Was that a snare trill?
Yes.
We have Alan Sifuentes on with us today. Hey, Alan.
Hey, how's it going?
Alan.
It's me, yeah.
Alan, we've all been friends for a little while. You live in Valdosta along with Jeff.
Right.
And you currently run the DIY house there in town. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I guess our 1-year anniversary just passed.
Nice.
We've been doing
awesome.
shows since April of last year. I think April 19th was our first show.
That's crazy. It feels longer than that. I don't know.
Right, well, and I think part of that feeling comes from the fact that we've done over 60 shows. That's like averaging about 5 a month.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, wasn't I think I saw something where it was like 600 bands have played here.
No, not yet.
No.
But yeah,
maybe I just made that up.
No, maybe it has been over 60 shows. I sort of lost track because a couple got canceled, the most recent ones, and just based on what Facebook tells me.
Right. Those sad reminders of like, hey, this is what you would be doing.
Right. Yeah, I think
It's
there's literally supposed to be a show tonight.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah, who was supposed to play tonight?
This band called Partition from Minnesota.
Sick.
Who I met when I was on my first tour in 2015 in Richmond, Virginia.
Killer.
Rad.
Yeah, but they're a super cool band. I kept in touch with them, and they wanted to come down. They're doing their first tour and coming down south.
Hopefully they are keeping themselves partitioned in Minnesota.
Nice.
All right, cut this out.
Yeah,
we're gonna restart the whole podcast. I don't like the vibe anymore. Well, Alan, you just mentioned you were on that tour when you met those bands. You also play in a couple bands. You want to talk about that? I can cut this out if you don't want me to. You don't want to talk about it.
No, I mean it's fair. I mean, I've played in a few bands here and there. I've only been on one tour, and on that tour I was filling in on bass, so it wasn't even like my band.
Whatever, man, it counts.
No, yeah, totally, it counts. Yeah, I played in Balloon Assembly Line with Kelby Clark.
Yeah,
and that was the tour that I went on. And I had my own punk band called Rib.
Hell yeah!
And
I remember
Rib was so good.
Yeah, Rib was with Kelby Clark and Steven and Jordan. But the most recent band, I guess, is Junior Doubloons with my roommate Zorn and Teddy on drums, or on bass. I'm on drums. But I mean, we haven't practiced in like 3 months or something.
I haven't practiced in like 3 months. So like,
actually,
that
I guess
doesn't mean anything.
It's been 3 months since I said that we haven't practiced in 3 months. So.
Yeah.
I
don't know. Eventually, we'll get back around to it.
Well, we're super glad that you're here with us.
Yeah, thanks for being the first guest on our podcast.
Thanks for putting up with us for the next. Jeremy told you this is like a 4-hour podcast, right?
Yeah, we're in this for the long haul.
Yeah. Yep. So,
all right. Well, I guess we'll get right down to it. Today's episode, we're talking about the 4th Deathwish release, which is by a band called The Dedication, and it's their EP, Youth Murder Anthems.
Which I really like this name. Like, I'm super into it.
I think it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's good.
Like, I'm super into the idea of like, I don't know, like, I mean, obviously, like, between now and then it's been played out, but like, early 2000s Youth Murder Anthems, come on. That was edgy.
Yeah, so like at first I thought it was going to be like edgelord sort of thing, like, oh, we're so tough, Youth Murder Anthems, but doing my research, I kind of find out they're almost on the same path as like early AFI. Like they were like spooky almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I did spooky in quotation marks. I know you guys listening can't see me, so it's spooky quote. But yeah, so I think it was more along those lines, which is way cooler in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so this record was released on November 20th, 2001, which is, I mean, Deathwish was really just going at it. This is the fourth release in like 3 months.
Right. What I loved about this, I read some interviews because like the spoiler, the band broke up very soon after they released this only record that they put out. But I loved the story that like they like played some shows and they were playing a show and fucking Trey from Deathwish saw them at a show and was like, yo, let's put out a record. Like that doesn't happen anymore. Like,
yeah, like like Trey was literally like doing like roadie gigs and like saw the dedication and was like, I want to work with this band.
Yeah. It was like, he was literally like in the same place as them and saw them play and like wanted to sign them like that. I just feel like it doesn't happen like that very much at all anymore.
Yeah. It's definitely a time and place thing. I mean, this was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's wild to think that like this band ended up on this fucking insane label just because he happened to see them. Like didn't go to see them, just happened on them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so just to get, thoughts out of the way, I like this record.
It's great.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had never listened to it before, so
Well, me and Jeff had only gotten a little taste because they had a song featured on the last Deathwish release we just talked about. Hold on. Sorry, I have the burp.
Wait for this title, Alan. Fighting Music Volume 1.
Sick.
Yeah, so they were on Fighting Music 1. And to be honest, I didn't love the song on that record, so I was like not really looking forward to this record because I was like, I mean, it was good, but it was not, I didn't love it. But this record turned me around on this band.
Yeah, I think sure. I'm glad this one did because there's not another one.
Yeah. No, I know they have a demo and then this and that's it. I like this record so much that I ordered a copy online off of Discogs just earlier today.
Is it a 7-inch or?
Yeah, it's a 7-inch.
Sick.
It was literally $1. Yeah, so like I was like, fuck it. I mean, this record's really good.
It's cool to have.
But yeah, exactly. And I hope that doesn't become a trend because this is now the second release of the 4 releases we've talked about that I have proceeded to buy on Discogs.
No, fuck that. We should, Jeremy, and by we, I mean you, should get a copy of every Deathwish release. And then I'll say that we have a copy of everyone. But
yeah, we have it in our library, but it's me.
Did you get your CD in the mail?
No, but it was supposed to be delivered today. Alan, I ordered a copy of Fighting Music 1 because on it is a song that doesn't exist on the internet.
Oh,
so
really?
We did a bunch of research and I couldn't find it. So I ordered a copy, still waiting on it in the mail. We're going to do a little mini episode whenever I get that CD to just talk about that one song.
At Deathwish. They were like,
yeah, they're like,
we're looking for it. Nope.
All right, but let's get back on track. So like I said, really like this record. I think the weakest song is the song that was on the compilation, but everything else I think sounds really, really good. The music is melodic but aggressive and occasionally like spastic. And I think it's really fun. I think the vocals are cool. I think the lyrics are not really I mean, they don't stand out super well, but they're not like boring. It's fun. It's a fun record. I like it a lot.
Yeah, totally. I'm glad it starts with 1, 2, 3, 4. And that way I know that the album is starting. I'm like, shit, I gotta pay attention.
Yeah, I wouldn't know otherwise. So,
okay, so I have been trying to rack my brain to like crack the nut of like what band this band sounds like, and there's like a couple of different things for me. The vocalist screams and like his like sometimes he like talks kind of like the out of breath vocal.
Yeah.
it makes me think of Burt McCracken from The Used.
Oh, that's a pull.
Yeah, it makes me think of like that vocal. And there was another band that's super not well known called On Watership Down that I think was on Eulogy. And it sounds like that to me also. But I also thought that band sounded like, that vocalist sounded like Burt McCracken from The Used. So I get that from that. And like the guitar tone is undeniably the guitar tone from The Kids Aren't All Right by The Offspring. That's what it is.
I wonder if that was an influence.
I don't care if they say it was or not. That is the mod that they were like, that's the fucking shit that they patched in. They were like, this.
When did that record come out? That Offspring record?
Oh, fucking late 90s.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say because like I know it was before this, but it was like pretty close, relatively.
Yeah. I mean, they were probably kids. They were probably like teenagers when that record was out.
Definitely, I remember. So this is the first time I was able to find some interviews from this band about this record, and like in this podcast that we're doing here, but like basically they talk about how they were hugely influenced by this band called Ink and Dagger and stuff like that, and it's really cool. But speaking of bands this band sounds like, when I was listening to them, I was like cooking dinner or something, just playing the record. My roommate Joey walked in and goes, "Oh, who is this? Is this like early Comeback Kid?" And I was like, "No," but he's like, it sounds like Comeback Kid." And I was like, "Oh, I could see it that melodicness to it."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, that's cool. But in a weird turn of events, the artwork on this record is that kind of like blood splatter. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I saw
that sort of generic, like, oh, it's spooky blood splatter thing.
Yeah.
But doing my research, I found that this was actually one of the first records, at least in the hardcore scene, to do that effect. It was not like a commonplace thing, this being 20 years ago. And that the one of the reviewers that I read said it possibly inspired the Comeback Kid Turn It Around album art, which also has like a blood splatter kind of look. So it's just this weird like coincidence that my roommate thought it sounded like Comeback Kid. It possibly inspired this Comeback Kid record, at least the album art anyways. Hold on.
While I was listening to it, there was a bunch of parts that reminded me of Hot Cross. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that band.
The name is familiar, but is that what's his name from The Locust? Is he in that band? Is that what I'm thinking?
You're thinking of Dead Cross.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Justin Pearson.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also like a bunch of, I don't know, like traditional screamo bands.
Yeah, for sure. Like this is like, for me, this is like quintessential. I mean, obviously, definitions, blah, 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 emo, screamo. But like for me, like this is what I think of when I think of like older, or like early 2000s screamo. It's like this. It's this, like each like chorus is like buttressed up with fucking gang vocals. Like, I feel like that it's something that kind of went away, and parts of it didn't really come back. Like,
I don't know if I mean,
yet.
I'm not trying to argue definitions because everyone has their own like genre, blah, 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 blah. But I don't really, I personally wouldn't wrap this up in early screamo stuff, because when I think of that stuff, I think of bands like Majority 99, and that doesn't really, this band is too melodic, but in pretty ways rather than dissonant ways.
I think it's just the difference of definition. Like we're talking about different things.
But yeah, so like we said earlier, this band really did not last that long. They put out a demo, got signed, put out this record through Deathwish, and then kind of broke up probably about a year later.
I think 2002.
I have a quote here from the vocalist in an interview. Basically, they broke up for personal reasons. They didn't want to, some of the members didn't want to like go to shows or practice, and some members didn't want to deal with the band being successful and touring and maybe going to the next level, like getting a booking agent. So instead of like maybe kicking all those members out, they just broke up and formed different bands later on. So that's really why the band broke up rather quickly, is just like some members were just like, I don't want to be going to the next level.
Right.
Which is, I mean, totally understandable. I mean, we have experience in in that regard. Me and Jeff's band Machinist, we've had a couple of members, and sometimes they were just like, "Hey, I'm not into this," and we're like, "That's cool. Glad we figured it out."
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
It's
I
a
completely
real thing,
understand.
and also, like, a lot of bands, like, when they get to a certain point, like, they realize, like, members in the bands are like, "Oh shit, I don't want to sleep in a van every fucking night."
Yeah, exactly.
I fucking hate this. I stink.
I mean, it does
I
suck,
stink,
but-
and you stink, and all of you stink.
You all took your shoes off, and I'm throwing up right now.
Yep, it's true.
But yeah, so I mean, like I said, I get it. I think members went on to form this band called Sex Positions, which Jeremy Bolm from Touche Amore has listed as one of his favorite records of all time.
Yeah, it was definitely like a band that, like, they went on to do that band, and that band was even more successful than this band, kind of thing.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. But yeah, like I said, I enjoyed this record a lot. I'm really glad that we were able to do this right after that compilation, because I would not have ever looked this band up again.
Right.
Before, but now I don't know. I just, like I said, I ordered a copy. I'm really excited about it. And it's fun because it's like this band literally exists for this one record. So they will never put out like a quote bad record, because this is it.
Yep.
It's all we got. I don't know if
good.
they've ever done a reunion show, but exactly. But actually, speaking of their last stuff, their last show, they actually performed with other Deathwish alums, the Hope Conspiracy.
HopeCon.
And at the time, Hope Conspiracy was way bigger, but it was their last show, so they were like, yeah, you guys can headline or whatever.
Yeah, you guys can play and everybody leave.
Yeah, we're gonna have the big band.
We're the touring band, so we need to play in the middle.
Exactly.
I did make some notes.
Yeah.
Oh, please share your notes.
Most of it is just like a description of what was happening at the time. Like,
No, fuck yeah.
Like, it starts off with the 1, 2, 3, 4. And I thought that was kind of noteworthy. And it's and it started off pretty dancey, like a lot dancier than I expected. Like for, I don't know, like a Deathwish album or something. Started getting some like dance punk sort of feels.
Yeah, like there's definitely like in the earlier, what we found in the earlier some of the earlier releases thus far in Deathwish is it's like kind of all over the place. It's like, oh, this is a fucking mosh call part. Oh, this is like this band is doing this like, fun, like move your body punk stuff. Like it's definitely like I think it predate, like we're not into the era of what people would consider a typical Deathwish band yet.
Oh, for sure.
Like, which I have opinions about, like, quote, the Deathwish sound, but we're not there yet. Like, they're just still signing bands who are like smaller bands or like friends of theirs or, stuff like that. So.
And track 3 has some real sick drum fills and tom parts in the beginning.
Yeah, I think the drummer definitely showcases like he's very talented.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's very cool.
And the recording sounds great too.
Something that hit me was that so like almost at the end of the second track, which is called Our Song, I was like, this fucking first song is so long. And then I looked and I was like, wait, this is the second song.
Oh yeah.
It's moved on.
Wait a minute. So then I like went back to the end of the first song and like today a lot of bands do the thing where like this song leads into that song, it flows into that song. But like this record did that with the first two songs, but it didn't like drop out into feedback that they just like cut in half in the middle of the feedback. It's like one big song. Like there's like a build up at the end of the first song and the next song starts. And I thought that was really neat because like they got me. Like I didn't even realize that the song had changed. Like I didn't realize
thought it was one long song.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they'd gone on to a second thought. And that was awesome. Like, I was like, oh shit, like that worked. Like that flowed so well that I literally didn't notice. And I thought that was neat. Like, it's another thing where like maybe today that's not as impressive, but then like that's a big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it definitely feels real like cohesive.
Very fluid.
I will say I do have one note that I forgot about. The end of the record with the piano.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
again, like a lot of what we're finding is like maybe stuff that gets overplayed later. But at the time, man, I don't know, like this stuff, like for the time that this record was put out, like I think that's really cool of them to do.
Absolutely.
I thought it was really pretty. And honestly, you can hear like background noises in the piano. Like you hear like people like kind of shuffling around and stuff.
Right.
It's just like it. I wonder if it was almost like an afterthought or if they wanted it to do that. I don't know. I thought it was really fucking cool.
I was listening to it in my headphones, and like definitely there's parts where like it does the classic, you know, like pan left and right for this guitar, that guitar. And like one of those guitars has a grounding issue. and so like it'll be like Jun dun dun dun, and then it'll pan to the other one and be like Jun dun dun dun. And I was like, oh shit.
Well, to be fair, they did record it at a studio that doesn't exist anymore. So I want, you know, there people were just like, I don't know about that place. Do you hear what's going on?
No, I don't think that's what happened. But I thought it was cool, like because in my ears, like I was like, oh, there's that.
Did you look into who recorded it or?
I did. Honestly, I did. It was a couple people that didn't really do much else at a place that didn't do much else. It kind of just existed in Boston for like a year. I didn't even write it down just because like I was like, there's nothing there.
Yeah, totally.
I always like to know because in the same sense of like I like to know who did the album artwork and stuff like that. It's just I'm curious always where those connections lie.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, jumping around, I feel like we're jumping around on this episode a lot. But I feel about the album art, like when I looked at it, I was like, fucking boring. But, but then, you know, we have to do that thing where it's like, wait, was it boring then? I don't know. Maybe it's revolutionary, kind of, but still kind of boring.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, it's like a blood splatter. And then when I looked closer and saw that there's like portraits of the band members in it, and I was like,
wait,
oh,
what?
God. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, no.
And there's actually alternate artwork for the 7-inch. There's actually alternate artwork for the 7-inch that's a little bit different, but it's kind of the same thing. Yeah, it's like I said, at the time when I was doing some research at the time, that sort of blood splatter like look was not.
Every time I fucking look this shit up, I get goddamn Lil Wayne.
Yeah, same.
The dedication.
Every time.
You guys are talking about a hardcore record. I thought it was a rap record. I don't know what's going on here.
What you guys meant by that?
But yeah, the guy who actually did the art is a man named Damien. I am gonna butcher this last name. Genuardi. He was in that band, the hardcore band In My Eyes, and he did a couple different album artworks as well, and they all kind of look like this. So at the time, people thought it was really cool and revolutionary. Now we're like 20 years past, we're like, that's a little fucking boring. Yeah. I think it's cool, like I think it's a good record, but the album artwork's a little meh.
No, yeah, totally.
You found it yet, Jeff?
Fuck no. All right,
well, fuck it, moving on.
I'll take your word for it.
But yeah, like I said, overall, really enjoyed this record. Really glad we got a chance to listen to this band I had never fucking heard of in my life. I definitely want to check out the band that they went on to form, Sex Positions, especially with that glowing recommendation from Jeremy Boehm, who's a musician that I usually
share a name with. Yes, we know.
Yeah, we're both named the same. We are the same. I am Jeremy. Okay, we're conspiracy theory. No.
Yep.
Anyways, but yeah, I want to check out that band.
Tweet at Jeremy Boehm and at Iron Ray Gun, which is Jeremy, and tweet your best side by sides of them.
Yeah, we're basically the same person. Yeah. I mean,
can you do that? Can you do that Ripley's Believe It or Not thing with like you both as the parents, and like you put money you put money in the machine, and it just slaps them over each other, and it looks like a fucking monstrosity.
It looks like two pictures up on top of each other.
Yeah. You paid $10 for that in Ripley's Believe It or Not in St. Augustine, Florida.
Called out
on your honeymoon.
Eat shit, Ripley's.
2016.
Listen, I've only been to Ripley's once, and it was great.
I didn't do that. Wasn't me.
That wasn't a real thing.
I wasn't that one that did that.
All right. Well, so yeah, that about wraps up the record. I mean, it's a relatively short record. It doesn't really do a lot of different stuff in terms of like, there's no real like interlude or anything. It's kind of all the same. Like they're all these hardcore fucking songs, and it's great. So I guess I
liked it, man. I liked that there wasn't any bullshit until the end when they were like, all right, let's do that piano bullshit.
Yeah.
I like that.
But it was just
here's a little dash of here's a little dash of bullshit.
All right, you fucking
right
listen to the songs already now. Listen to this bullshit. I'm just kidding. I liked it a lot.
No, it's cool. All right. Well, so let's move on. Jeff, what have you been listening to recently?
Recently, I have been listening to do you want today? Today, I've been listening to Tupac's Greatest Hits.
Classic. All right, sure.
While cleaning my pool. But I've been listening to, the past couple of days, I've been listening to the new record from Altar of Profanation, which is like a black death band, black metal kind of death.
I didn't realize they put out a new record.
Yeah, they just put it out yesterday, I think.
Yeah,
Blackened death metal band from this area, and it's super gross and super bleak, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Is it on Spotify, or is it only on like Bandcamp?
I think it's just on Bandcamp right now. I was listening on Bandcamp.
For sure, I'll check it out. I remember seeing them forever ago and thinking there's some potential there. So I'm glad to see that they're sticking around and putting shit out.
Yeah, like they do the whole, like it's the whole shebang, dude. Like the fucking candles and the altars.
Such
and
a
shit.
good.
I was gonna say, Alan, have you had them at your house?
Yeah, they played once, and yeah, they had an altar with candles and like big skull, and
I think they played with Harbor Lights, didn't they? What has it been?
No, it wasn't
the one from. I don't know.
I don't remember.
Matter. Cut this out.
Yeah, I don't remember which one. No, it was recent. It was like in January, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were like wearing face paint and just fucking shredded.
Listen, if you're gonna play black metal, you gotta go.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You fucking have to. Well, as far as what I've been listening to in terms of heavier stuff, the new ACX DC record got announced with a single, and it's aptly named Cop Sucker. It's a pretty fun. It's pretty fun. I really like them. Alan, if you ever want to listen to just some like really fun like power violence with like goofy ass lyrics, like they sometimes have songs about like Flight of the Conchords. They have a song referencing like Scott Pilgrim, but it's like the music is really good. Like the music is not a joke at all. You know what I mean?
But they also have songs about how like there's one track, I remember one song off the top of my head where he talks about like, you drank milk, so now you can't get into veggie heaven. Stuff like militant veganism, militant straight edge stuff, like, and how like hypocritical a lot of scenes can be. That band's amazing. Like,
what was their name again?
They're called ACXDC, also known as Antichrist Demon Corps.
Yeah.
They're really good. Their self-titled record came out a couple years ago that has the song that Jeff was just talking about on it. It's fucking fantastic. They've been around for forever, but yeah, their new record's coming out. So
as far as I knew, they had like gone on hiatus, and then they were kind of like, wait, no, we're not. Okay, let's
just
do this.
kidding. Yeah.
So I know that they got a bunch of like, they had like a bunch of like European stuff lined up. Then like all of it got canceled because of this whole thing with COVID. So
yeah, I'm sure that we're going to keep hearing that story for the next fucking year.
Yeah, it's everybody's song.
But on the other end of the spectrum, I've been listening. One of my favorite bands, they put out my favorite record 2 years ago, Retirement Party, just announced their new record as well and put out a single called Runaway Dog. It's fucking fantastic. It's kind of just like a indie rock, kind of bordering on emo and pop punk, but not really. It's more just like indie stuff on that hype label, Counterintuitive Records.
Oh, yeah.
But it's really cool. And then I want to give a small little shout out. Jeff, you just put out a split yourself. I've been listening to it a bunch.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I have. I haven't found the other side on Spotify, so I have to go to Bandcamp to listen to that. But your side project, Jeff Hill and the Car Bomb Sermon, put out a split with Is it eek, Ike?
I think it's ick, but yeah, it's ick because when we spoke about it, Wanchi, whose project it is, said we were talking about like where it started or whatever, and he's like, well, another thing is like it's the German word for eye, and that is pronounced ick. So
okay, ick. Yeah, but yeah, so it's the side project of Wanchi, who is in the band Zeta, the greatest band in the world. And
that's the name of the band.
Yes. Yeah, Zeta, the greatest band in the world. But yeah, you put out a split with them. I've been listening to that. It's absolutely fantastic. Everyone should check it out if you have a chance.
Thank you. It's on Spotify. It's on Bandcamp. It's on Deezer, whatever the fuck that is.
It's some French thing. I don't fucking know. Whatever. Title,
Yeah.
maybe.
If you want to pick up a physical copy, you can get that through No Time Records, which is a fucking sick label out of California.
Yeah, I definitely ordered a tape myself. It's good stuff.
Alan, what have you been listening to recently?
Ooh.
Oh man.
Oh, you don't want to know.
No, I the other day I actually listened to all of the Loma Prieta discography.
Yeah,
I fucking love that band.
Yeah,
so good.
Like I think the very first like release is only on YouTube and it's like 3 minutes long, and it's great. Awesome. But I listened to all of that the other day. Yesterday I was listening.
How long did it take you?
I mean, it was throughout the day. Like I woke up and I was like, I guess I'll start listening to this. Yesterday I was listening to a bunch of Algernon Cadwallader.
That band fucking rocks. My roommate introduced them to me.
Yeah, they're great.
I love that band.
And then,
what is that? I have no idea what that is.
Sort of like revival emo twinkly stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were in that kind of like first big wave of revival emo.
Yeah.
They
Gotcha.
don't exist anymore. They did like put out some represses of some records last year, but people thought that they were gonna like announce a reunion.
Yeah, that happens
it's just
every.
like,
But they were just grabbing
every
that
April.
cash.
yeah. I mean, shit. I bought a copy of a record because that shit's been out of print.
Yeah, it's great.
You
They
are
were
a
so
sucker.
they were supposed to play Fest the year that they like broke up, and I was gonna go, but they broke up right like 2 months before Fest
true.
had happened. I think like their drummer like got a kid or I don't. They had some
And
one of those.
And then Alan was like, "Fuck the fest."
Yeah,
So
never going.
tweet at the fest, Florida.
Nope.
What was that? Yeah, what was that hashtag?
Hashtag fuck the fest. Hope conspiracy or die. You motherfuckers fest. Get the Hope Con to play, or else.
That was the hashtag we invented on like an episode ago.
Also,
nice
also
way to hear that one.
hashtag also whatever this fucking band Alan's talking about is.
Yes.
them too.
Also, I sort of have also been like listening to a bunch of the music that people have played at my house because I've just been editing these videos.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
because that's something you do, right? Like
Yeah.
you like at DIY House, you have a full audio and video recording setup,
Right,
for
yeah.
every show, right?
Right. So I have like, I've recorded video and audio for every single show and I have to
That's
edit that
insane.
together. And since we're in quarantine, I've had plenty of time to catch up
Right.
on editing a bunch of stuff. So
Yeah,
been
I've definitely
listening
been
to a lot
seeing
of
them
that.
just like pump out like
Yeah.
every week. It's just like, hey, here's another video.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
You should put out like a compilation of like a year one, like
Oh shit!
here's 20
Yeah.
tracks from 20 different bands that I played
It's
over
in the
the-
works.
Oh no, did I spoil it?
No, you're good. But I have been thinking about doing that.
You should.
Yeah,
That would
I
be
think
fucking
it'd be good.
awesome.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But yeah, I was gonna say, you have a channel on YouTube specifically for the DIY House, and that's where all this stuff is.
Yeah, there's like over 100 videos right now.
Nuts.
Yeah, it's all pretty cool, man. It's a good space, and I'm glad that you're still doing it. I hope. Oh well, not I hope, but I know that once this is done, you'll get right back to doing some shows.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
all right.
Well,
Okay,
shit. Thanks so much for being on our podcast, Alan.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for being with us, doing this thing. And sorry, my 2-year-old is just staring at me. She just came in and she's just like giving me that like, what the fuck are you doing? Hold on a second.
Have you?
This is me kissing my youngin'. Good night. Night, babe. I love you. Come here.
So sweet.
What did you say? Oh, I love you too.
All I hear is
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, so next episode we are going to be talking about Deathwish 005, which is the LP it's just called Final, and it's by the band Damage. I don't think it's their last release, which it would be funny if it was. Just, unlike this band, we will be talking about them. We're potentially going to have another special guest on. No promises yet, because this shit is so, whatever, up in the air. But yeah, so hey, if we put out our first episode officially. By the time you're hearing this will be way down the line. But please, send us your feedback. Tell us we're wrong. Tell us we're right. Tell us, oh, I fucking hated that record. I can't believe you would like it, or whatever you want to say, or that we're wrong and that it's the best record of all time. You can email us at deathscographypod@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram at Deathscography. You can tweet at us at Deathscographypod, Facebook, Deathscographypod, all of that shit. Please send us some shit, because we'd love to read it on air.
But really, you should tweet at Jeremy.
Yeah. You can tweet at me directly. I'm at Iron Ray Gun. I'm also on Instagram at Iron Ray Gun.
I am also on Twitter now.
Dun dun dun.
As of today, at Car Bomb Sermon. Don't worry, I'll fucking get rid of it soon.
It only took. This is like the third. I found one of your old ones.
Oh man, there's several of them, dude. There's a couple. There's a Free Spirit Buttons one too, and it's fucking just floating out there.
Yeah.
Nope.
Alan, do you have any social media you want to share?
Yeah. So I guess if people want to follow the house, it's at Valdosta DIY House on Instagram and Facebook. I'm on Instagram at Alanciation, ALANCIATION. I also have a Twitter, but I don't ever use it. So just hit me up on Instagram. Like, fuck Twitter.
That's right.
Listen,
that's right.
Twitter doesn't make sense until it just one day does.
Right,
so
that's what it seems
You know
like,
how many fucking things I've read today about how to Twitter correctly? Like I haven't hashtagged anything because I'm not sure if you're supposed to put the hashtag in the thing that you say, or if there's somewhere else that you put it. That's how stupid I am.
You could also not hashtag, because Twitter has a whole thing now where they just like they get phrases from whatever you're saying, and that works as a hashtag. It's
see what the fuck.
It's all fucking wild. But all right. But yeah, so that's it. We'll be back with an episode 5, and that's coming, I don't know, relatively soon. I'm still not sure if these are going to be weekly or bi-weekly. This quarantine thing is very interesting. But yeah, so thank you for listening.
Thanks for being with us again, Alan.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.